then we're sure it's going to record and won't be forgotten.
Yeah, Larry was about 3 minutes into his presentation when I realized I not it. Well, maybe
I
maybe
feel like
about 3 minutes.
Zoom should put something out like 60 seconds in. Are you sure you don't want to record? It would be so helpful. I'll start us off so I can pay attention to admitting folks. So I'm Emily, calling in from Maine, and a bright spot is I had to clean my car yesterday and I found a precious earring that I thought had been lost forever. So I have very few like earrings match the necklace sets, and this is one my sister made for me. So now the set is complete again. Treasure has been found. So totally still riding that high. Let's see. How about I call on people just so we're efficient with time? Does anyone feel free to skip if I call on you and you don't want to share today? Caroline, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Caroline. I'm in San Francisco, California, and a bright spot. Oh, it's just started to get really beautiful here. And today I went and I did a little exercise, and then I got like an iced coffee afterwards. And just the like taste of that with the sun on me was just, I like felt it in my whole body. It was great.
I'm looking forward to having temperatures like that soon in Maine. How about you, Allison?
I'm in Glasgow in Scotland, and a bright spot for me. Yeah, I've not done much sort of rough and tumble play until like we had that call with Larry for quite a while, and it just sort of got me thinking again, and I still kept putting it off. But then the last week I've got the big foam things out, and just said, how about we do some sword fighting? And we've done quite a lot of it. And yeah, it's been really good. It's been fun.
Love it. Let's see, Kathy KG.
Hello, I'm calling in from Pennsylvania. Hi, Kirsten. I'm calling in from central Pennsylvania, and let's see, my bright spot is my son is coming home today from college. He's coming home for the weekend because there's a big arts festival in our town, and it's always fabulous. Forecast is for rain, but everybody still comes out. So it'll be so nice to have him here and have a chance to go to that. Another piece of that is that there's a big dance performance tonight, and my daughter and I have a clip of us dancing. So we get to go see ourselves on stage on the film. But anyway, we're very excited.
Summer, I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
I know, right? My shirt, I have a shirt with rainbows, and it was actually it's actually my sister-in-law's, and we were up there visiting, and she was like, oh, this doesn't fit me anymore, and she gave it to my daughter, and it's way too big for her, and I was like, I'll take that. And this morning I was like, oh, I have nothing to wear, and I've never worn it before, and it was like on a pile on the floor, and I was like, oh, I don't wear that. Then yeah, I think that's it.
Brooke, how about you?
Yeah, well, it's like a silver lining bright spot. My daughter has really bad seasonal allergies, and so she felt really bad at school, so I went and picked her up, and so she's home and she's hanging out with me, and I was desperately working on a flyer for my hand-in-hand class, because I'm like, oh, I have 2 people, I just want to get one more, I'll send out this flyer. And she's like a whiz with all that graphic design, so she's like, get out of the way, mom, let me show you. So now I have this beautiful new flyer, so it's really nice.
Yay.
Yeah. And she read my testimony, my survey that I gave to my last set of students. And she was like, Mom, you did a really good job, because we were looking for a testimonial. It's adorable. It's really so nice.
Yeah. Kirsten.
Well, I'll copy a bright spot I said in my last call when I was on with Summer. I have this salad here that I made ahead of time for the week. It's one of those good durable, it's a grain salad and it's so tasty. And I love that when I have a day that's like this back to back to back to back to back, I'm like, oh yeah, I have that in the fridge. I just like open it up. Ah, it's so good when I plan food ahead. It's such a rarity and gosh, it makes a difference. So thank you for letting me eat on call.
Anytime. Maya, how about you?
Yeah, so my highlight is my 17-year-old Moxie was elected president of their religious education group. And we had a big meeting over the weekend about something that's been going on. And I actually got to see Moxie sort of speak in front of a huge group of adults and peers and just like really take on like some impressive leadership. Like it was really, really cool to see. Yeah.
Last but not least, Kathy Gordon.
Some of you may or may not know that I'm also an actress, and I booked an acting job in New York, the middle of May, which I'm thrilled about. But really the bright spot is I told my son about it yesterday. He came over and gave me a hug, and he said, "I'm so proud of you."
I didn't miss anyone, did I? I think that's everybody. So we wanted to focus our hub call this month on the underpinnings of support that you have available to you, because we've had so many transitions over the last couple of years with resources and information being moved from system to system. And it can just be really tricky to get into a new system and find where everything is. And we also want to hear from you about the kinds of things you wish you had or that would really be nice to have, so we can keep building this instructor hub support space together and with you and for all of us and for future instructors too. So we have 3 big things we want to cover today. Maya's going to start us off with a report back from this amazing experiment of the communities of practice for instructors who are interested in teaching week by week, not in person, live support. And then I'll do a little tour of the instructor hub and some of the little nooks and crannies that exist in there that I'm like, does anybody know it's here? I really want to make sure you know. And then Kathy's gonna finish off the call with another experiment we want to do in professional development for the instructor community. So Maya, would you take it from here and tell us about the shiny?
And thanks to everybody for being here too. It's really nice to see people in person. So I'm really excited to do a little interim report back on the communities of practice, because that is just being a very exciting and vibrant thing that is happening for our hand-in-hand community. So we have about 70 instructors who've sort of self-identified as as being sort of active instructors. So people who are in the instructor hub and kind of focused on accessing those resources and thinking about teaching and doing all of that. Obviously, many more people who are kind of in our larger instructor community, but there are 70 people there, and 55 of those people are involved in a community of practice in some way, leading or being a participant, which is like really an outstanding participation rate for something that came together in some ways a little quickly. So that's being really exciting, and people have been filling out for the first 4 weeks. I had sort of people fill out just to answer a couple questions after their calls, really focused on what are the things that are kind of getting in the way of doing the kind of hand-in-hand work that that people want to be doing, just to get a sense of what are the barriers to teaching and doing this work for people, and then asking people to share just to highlight something that's kind of has gone well over the last over the previous week. And so this has been really great to get people's sort of, consistent, active feedback about what's happening in these groups. And also we're being able to take this feedback and kind of make changes right away, and make plans for other changes for instructors. So some of the feedback about what has happened for people as part of the communities of practice, we're just getting kind of overwhelming feedback that people are just appreciating being together and getting to do this as a team, as a community, in connection with other people, and just that community feel that like we are undertaking this project together and doing this together. For actually a fair number of people, they were not feeling confident or even planning to actually be teaching. And so many more people are actually considering and are offering starter classes. And so that's been really great to see that happening. People have been using the time to kind of go through the classroom to just be oriented to our new platform and where things are and what the class looks like. And one group is actually going through the classroom together, to really focus very closely on how you might be teaching each week. So all of the different groups, there are 7 communities of practice happening, and each of the groups have actually often a different focus. I mean, it's really come out of what that group is needing. So some of the groups are, people are already teaching in the groups, and it's focused on support for teaching, and some groups it's very focused on just the nuts and bolts of actually where is everything and how do I think about teaching. And some people have been able to connect up with other instructors to plan to assist in the teaching of a class. And so that's actually a really exciting piece of this. And what I really hoped would all come out of this is for people to connect up with each other and team teach, or be able to assist as somebody's teaching. So, and what's been also really useful to hear is just what are the things that get in the way of teaching? What are the barriers? And overwhelmingly, the main barrier is sort of the marketing and filling of classes. There's so many people who feel ready to teach and ready to sort of start that, but it's just daunting to think about or do the marketing piece and be able to fill classes kind of with enough people that it's a cohort experience. So and then also some of the barriers are, we've moved to a new platform. They're being hosted on Mighty Networks and, in our own network space. And so just familiarity with that space and kind of how that all works. So, and then of course for everybody it's sort of other barriers of time or sort of things that come up. But really we are very focused on really wanting to support instructors in being able to teach as many classes as you want to be teaching, and helping to have people connect up with you to participate in those classes. And we've really been so this is one way of sort of supporting that, which is to be sort of having a teach-in, having a particular time within which we're promoting that these classes are being taught, being able to take advantage of sort of the bulk marketing that's sort of happening there. I think that I'm hearing from some people that was super effective, and they've been able to fill classes that they haven't been able to fill before. We've heard from some other people that sort of hand-in-hand marketing push didn't necessarily translate into more people in their classes. Our marketing campaign was the tech pieces underneath launching this, like, really delayed when we could launch the marketing for things. So I'm not surprised that it didn't have as big of an impact, but we are going to be doing this again in the fall, and we have planned dates for that, and we've and the marketing plan for that is going way back, so that in the fall you should be able to take more advantage of or benefit from kind of the bigger marketing push that's happening. But we also, and we hope to be talking today about lots of other ways that we can support support you and support people finding their way to you. And I feel like the entire world is our market, and that we should absolutely have no trouble like filling all of the classes that you might possibly want to teach, since we are truly international, and we're doing a fair amount of teaching kind of online. So I feel like it's not ultimately a problem. We just need to be figuring out how to make that happen. So, and I'm very committed to that, and helping all of us think about how to support you in that marketing piece. So yeah, I think I'll stop there. Any thoughts, any questions, any feedback kind of about all of that?
Maya, you mentioned, I think I saw an October teach-in. Is that the timing for the fall? Like, have starter classes in October?
Yeah, so actually it's sort of late September, really. Okay. So we'll get you those dates, and those are going to go up on the website very soon, so that's people can start planning for that. But what we want to do is, again, run 10-week communities of practice, and that those communities of practice will meet for 2 weeks before then the professionals intensive and the foundations course kick off, and then both of those go for 8 weeks, and we'll continue through the end of the communities of practice. And then we're just encouraging people to schedule in starter classes in some ways that kind of overlap with that. It's like, not everything has to be launching at exactly the same time. It's really that this is happening over a period of time, and people can easily be getting into classes. Yeah, so those dates and times will come out like very soon, probably in the next week.
We'll have it in the newsletter.
Right, yeah.
Sure.
On Monday.
Yeah, Kirsten?
One of the thoughts that I had is that so those of us that are leading a communities of practice are on a thread, and we've been sharing, oh, I tried this in my class, this worked well, like how to lead the communities of practice and ideas that are coming up and stuff like that. And I know so I think I asked this early on, is like, where is the communities of practice page on Mighty Networks where as a group we can be sharing, the participants and leaders can be sharing things that we tried. And I think the decision was like, we would just have it be in general on the Instructors Hub as part of the feed, or are we going to end up having a communities of practice? I feel like it would be not, I don't know, like, what are we deciding about that? Should there be a dedicated place specifically that is for communities of practice feedback, things that came up in class, ideas people had, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's such rich information.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, we're capturing, the idea was to capture a little bit of that through the through the questionnaires, through the sort of weekly questionnaires, but not to sort of burden people with, oh my gosh, I have to fill out like a long questionnaire about things. Just there's one question sort of each week to share what you want. So we're getting some of it there, and that you know, and I'm collecting that, and that will be available to everybody. The other thought was, you know, to have this kind of thing be the topic of our instructor discussion group. And the idea there was, you know, do we want to have yet another place where people are having discussions or sort of have to check things? That hasn't really happened, that people are sort of talking about this on our instructor discussion group. So, you know, we might want to talk about if that would be a place or some kind of sub thread there, where, you know, people can be sharing, you know, about that. But absolutely, we can also talk about whether there would be a space on the network where people participating in a community of practice, you know, would have a discussion group, a chat group, you know, sharing of resources in there. We should definitely talk about that for the fall.
Because it's another way that we could, like, the folks that didn't join a communities of practice, if they were hearing like all this cool stuff that's happening,
Yeah,
they might be more motivated to want to join a communities of practice. Like, oh, does sound really helpful, you know?
Well, just in terms of navigating the network in general, and Emily's going to give everybody a little tour, and moderating the parent club, I have found the less spaces people have to post and to check, the better. So it probably, my vote would be for, I mean, I absolutely hear what you're saying, Kirsten, because, you know, like, there's great stuff happening with my 5 people, but wouldn't it be awesome if my 5 people were also connected to the other 65? You know, and we as leaders are sharing info, but they're not sharing in between different groups. So so I would advocate for, you know, I don't know, some kind of that maybe we as group leaders do our reporting that we do to each other. We actually maybe do that in the instructor hub. And where people could chime, you know, all members could chime in, as well as instructors who weren't able to because of scheduling or whatever, would benefit.
Or like, for example, like Maya saying, I was hoping that people would join together and co-teach. So maybe in my little group, there's not 2 people that are wanting to do a starter class, but maybe in another one, hey, I really want to do this, but I'd rather do it with somebody. And, you know, you could pull, I mean, yes, we can just put that into discussion thread or the feed, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm just, my experience having been moderating the parent club is that the more different spaces you have for people to join and check and post, the more confused they get. Am I posting in the right place? You know, so
Let's I will send a list of options to the communities of practice leaders, and maybe we can just do a quick poll among our groups about a few options that we have for ways to have group discussions, and what might be most useful for folks.
I think what Kathy's saying is that what we don't want to have happen is that people who want to teach are then snowed with 65 posts from 65 different people,
Yeah.
all of the issues that could possibly ever come up while you're teaching.
Yeah.
And it just, we don't want to make teaching for hand in hand a ton of work, you know,
Yeah.
going through post after post after post. And that's, it's a good idea to share, Kirsten, but there is a downside to, you know, to huge amount of sharing, in that it all begins to feel too burdensome. It's like, oh my God, what if this happens to me? And then, oh my God, what if that happens? It just, I don't know, just having one group where you can bring up your issue and absorb what those people are learning is probably enough. It's like there's, you know, just how much attention people have for this. And just figure, you know, it's going to come sooner or later, you know. Hey, I need an assistant. What should I do? Well, there's, you know, there's the Google group and the, you know, the instructor community, and you know, yeah. So.
Thank you.
20
Any
years
other-
of knowing you, and I think I just saw your child for the first time, Patty. 23 years of knowing you. Like, wait, stay!
I could call him back in. He could say hi.
Wave as you go by, David. So I think I can kind of take us to the next segment, and we'll keep the discussion about communities of practice open, and actually really open in lots of ways, because this has been a tremendous experiment, and we'll have another option, and we'll have another round of experimenting in the fall. So making this useful and valuable and doable is what we all want. So keep it coming. I think that would be great. So I will share my screen and take us into the hub, because I think the more we see it, and even though it's just on a screen with me navigating around, the easier it will be for you to then go there next time and access what you need to access.
My son is going to come on screen for just a minute.
Yay. Oh, sorry, I shared the wrong browser. Hello.
Hi,
Thanks for sharing your mom.
We know all about you.
She wasn't lying this whole time.
Hand in hand exists. Here we are.
Thank you for all the awesome work you're doing.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
It's so great to meet you. I've been hearing about you for 20-something years. All good. All good. All
We're your mom's fan club. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, Patty, for that.
Thanks for sharing him, Patty.
Those of you who don't know, he's working on our website. He's been doing that for a while. Yeah. Yes.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. It's been
Wow.
amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the right browser for you. There it is. All right. So here is our instructor hub. Can everybody see it? Yes. So hopefully what you all see matches closely to what I'll show you. And if not, let me know. So these this menu along the left side is really helpful for navigating to the different sections. We have such a wealth of resources available. It can be incredibly overwhelming, and it can feel a little fire hose-ish. So we broke it down into segments and types of information, so you can go to the one section that you need at whatever time. So we have a section for new instructors, and a section for teaching materials and resources, a section for professional development, and a section for marketing and business. And that last one is not yet available. So I'm going to take you into the marketing and business resources section for now and show you a few of those little nooks and crannies that I want to make sure you know about, because it will support you in marketing what you're doing and sharing this with your community. And so we have hosting your event on the website. Anytime you're doing a hand-in-hand event, it can go on the hand-in-hand website. And then that gets collected into newsletters and other hand-in-hand promotions. So please do that whenever you have an event. It's great to have your information up there. And if you haven't looked at your bio in a while, it's great to update that somewhat regularly. So these are the free resources to share with parents. Lots of instructors will use these as, you know, give me your email address and I will send you a link to get this free resource. And then they also share their email address with Hand in Hand when they do their download. These, along with lots of resources for instructors, are being updated as we go. This year in particular, lots of things are getting overhauled and refreshed. So as you click into these links, we're going to do our very best to make sure that all of these links are taking people to places that are correct and that what they're getting is correct. But if you notice anything going awry, please let us know. So Julie put this together a while back, and I think she was thinking about, you know, each tool could have a couple of different options for you to share. So if you were doing a workshop or a talk on special time or on connection, you could either include this special time booklet download. This is, you know, a link you can go to. Let's see if you can you still see my screen? It took me away from that space. So you can share this link with folks. They enter their email and they get a free download of the special time booklet. So you can use this as a way to connect with people. You can use this as freebies to enhance what you're offering, whatever feels useful to you. So if you're doing a booklet on separation anxiety, you might you know, give the crying booklet away, or something about aggression. You might give this this Reaching for Your Angry Child booklet away. So these are here. They're in the hub. You can download you can copy and paste the link and put it into whatever it is that you are giving away. And that is always here for you in this marketing and business section under the free resources. And so you as an instructor can also give away 100 free downloads of the Listening to Children booklet set. So one instructor was doing a little event, a tabling event recently, and we actually made a little QR code that she could use that takes folks directly to the Listening to Children booklet set downloads here in the network. So you can do lots of creative things. I'm happy to help anyone do those QR codes if those are useful for you, or you can just share the link. It's right in here. The link is a little cumbersome, so that's why I did oh, look, I already put it here. So here are the QR codes. So you can use. So there's one that has a white background and one that has a transparent background, depending on what you're using it with. So these little freebies are invitations. So if you find that you need help getting them, or you need help getting folks to them, or not sure how to use them, post in the Google group or post in the Instructor Hub, and see if other instructors can share what they've done that works. You know, we have such a robust network available to us. Please reach out and to each other so we can not have to reinvent the wheel. So these marketing guides and resources, Julie created all of these as kind of a starter kit for instructors, but they're still very relevant and useful. And then this is a newer section. We've had some great questions about should I get liability insurance, or how do I do registrations and payments? So I've collected those responses from the Google group into the hub here. So these are websites that are helpful, Google Forms, different options for payments, how people are taking payments from folks. So we can keep the wisdom of the group for future use also. And then I did very recently add, let's see, and who is it? Was it Brooke that was working on a flyer? I hope this is very new. I just put this in this week, but we're working on a media kit for instructors. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you have a class that you want to promote. We're using Canva templates. Canva is a design program that you can use for free. And I have a little video here about how to edit in Canva. For some people, it's really second nature. And for others, it's, you know, I might as well be asking you to land a rocket on the moon. So reach out if you need help. If you just need me to update one of these and you just can't, I'm happy to do that. It takes me seconds. But we have a business card, we have some sample social media ads, and we have a starter class flyer available. So you can use these templates from Canva and just plug your own information in. And we also have Google Drive, Google Doc resources available too. We're going to work on updating these. They feel a little bland to me, so we're going to work on those. And then just some descriptions. So if you're stuck with what do I even say about a starter class? There are a couple of different options in here for you for starter class descriptions. Any questions about this section? Has anyone?
I have a question, sorry,
Yeah.
about the freebies
Yeah.
and collecting their emails. Is there an ethical, like, if you're giving them a download and they're giving you you don't have to write somewhere, I'm going to collect your name for my mailing list. Is that assumed now? It used to be that you needed to tell people before you added them. You need,
I don't know what the process is once they land on that download page. If how explicit we are that you're entering your email so we can join. So you will be a part of our mailing list now. I'll double check with Elle and make sure that.
Seems like it happens all the time now, but I know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 10 years ago, you really
Yeah.
needed to be clear. I am going to be adding you to my mailing list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we
adding
are, that also comes with GDPR compliance, and we are compliant. We do let people know we're using them for, you know, they're joining a mailing list, and it's very clear how they can opt out of things. Yeah, so yep, we do let people know, and they know when they sign up for things, and they can opt out.
And it seems like then we personally need to make sure of that too if we have our own mailing list, correct? We have to have our own system for that too.
I don't think that's the case for individual people. I think it's just an
not in the US anyway. There might be for I don't know about the GDPR countries, but it's good practice. Like, it's good practice to say, sign up for my newsletter and I will send you a download to access this special time booklet through Hand in Hand.
And I won't share your email.
Yeah.
Hand in Hand will not share your email address
Yeah.
with your organization for any reason. I think that's a good thing to we had that printed on our give us your email address, you know, sheet that we use when giving a talk.
Yeah, the more upfront we can be, the better, I think.
So when you give them that link and the person clicks on that link, they go to a page where it says, where should we send your ebook? And down the bottom, it says privacy policy. We hate spam and promise to keep your email address safe.
Okay.
It's right there.
So you can share these freebies through your social media, through your classes, through flyers, whatever means you have of connecting with families. These could be shared in lots of different ways.
Hey, Emily, sorry,
Yeah.
I just realized you probably can't see me because you're looking at your screen.
Oh yeah.
Is there, so, is there a way to designate, like, I know when we would like collect emails and give them to Julie, she would like tag us in our region. So if we were in Oregon and then Silverton
Yeah.
and then Summer. So if we give, like if we add somebody to the mailing list or send them here, is there a way to like keep those emails, not keep them, but tag them as people in my area?
Absolutely.
Will that naturally happen? Or do I have to say, oh, I shared this with my friend and now
You have to submit those names to me and I manually tag them as yours.
Okay.
So then when you're doing a local talk, if you wanted a quick email blast to go out, you could send me copy and I could do that for you. So we have, let's see, is it in the starter class section? So submitting your contact list to Hand in Hand is in the teaching section. And I think I actually have it in the marketing section also, linking back to this. So you can just put them in a spreadsheet, name, email, and you confirm that we have permission to put them in our system. And we do, and they get tagged as your name. Any other questions about the marketing section? I did want to point out one other thing. We do have topics organized throughout the year based on the parent club calendar right now, are the parent club topics that we tend to cover each month. So these are our planned topics for the year, and each month we're doing a webinar that is associated with these that goes out to our entire mailing list. So for example, this month's was Larry, and he was talking about play. We nudged that a little ahead because of scheduling, and it was great to have him. So we're a little ahead of schedule for May, but each month's will kind of be at the end of the month promoting the topic for the next month. So hopefully we can get more folks joining parent club, and our materials are focused on this one topic, so we get a better punch of awareness and understanding. So you can join that wave with us if you want in your own local community and build on the things that Hand in Hand is already doing. So if you wanted to build on the free webinar that's happening by offering a class about it afterward, you could say, attend this free webinar at Hand in Hand and then come to my aggression class that I'm doing locally. And here's the registration link for both. So you could potentially use these to infuse more energy into your own local work too. So let me check our list and see if annual calendar. Oh, I guess I did want to just Maya mentioned it, but we'll get that date out to the teach-in and communities of practice. I can't say enough good things about having that foundation of support around you as you teach, where you can say, oh, this thing came up in class. How do you handle this? Or I have to do this topic next week. What do you all think? So think about that fall plan as support for you, and hopefully a boost of marketing for you too. So I'll stop sharing here because I want to leave time for Kathy to introduce our newest experiment of having instructors in Parent Club. Want to take it away, Kathy?
Yes. So, hang on, let me make sure I've got my screen to where I can share it. Yes. So, for as part of professional development, we thought we would invite instructors into the parent club. I think we tried this about a year ago when we were in Facebook. But now that we are in Mighty Networks and everything is sort of consolidated and all of the, all of our events and everything, happens right here. So we're going to invite you to come in for 3 months. You can always re-up, but that way we're sort of keeping track of who's in there. Basically, you'll be a fly on the wall observing, and you are always welcome to reach out to Emily or myself, with a question about, well, how come you said this, or how come you didn't say that, or because that's the educational piece, that like we get a lot of, not a lot, but we get a good share of parents that are going through tough times. We just had a post from somebody today who's, she's divorced from her husband, and they've got kind of a 2-day, 3-day, which is, a lot of transitions, kind of a custody agreement. And so she, it seems like he's the fun parent. And when her son comes home to her for, 2 or 3 days, she's stay listening the whole time. So, those kinds of things, emotional projects and those kinds of things. So, what we will ask from you is that all of everything that's created for Hand in Hand, and everything that is said in the parent club community, and everything that's written there, that stays there. So we're going to ask you to sign a little form. It's kind of an informal NDA. And and that certainly you can learn from what Emily or myself or Shaheen, as our third moderator, say. But we things like quoting, taking a parent's story or quoting a parent, like, oh, this parent said, oh, I heard a parent said this, and that kind of thing, sort of mining, we'll ask you not to do, as well as the fridge lists and those sorts of things the challenges, those sorts of things that we create, that's proprietary material that's strictly for the parent club community. We'll ask you to agree not to use in your practice. You can certainly be inspired by, but not to take directly. And then, was there anything else, Emily, that I'm missing about what we would ask of you? Was there?
I don't think so. We tried with the last experiment to do a little monthly check-in call time. We're not opposed to trying those things out, but we thought we'd just start with seeing who's interested in hanging out in parent club and just seeing what's happening there. Not just for personal development, but for having a really good understanding of what you might be sending people to if you're referring folks to parent club. Anyone who takes a starter class can get a free month in parent club. The link is right there at the end of the starter class. So it's a great landing place for anyone you have who's in a starter class.
And everybody in the parent club community gets 25% off the starter class if you choose to accept, if you choose to give that discount. You're under no obligation to. But so, we are also open to instructors coming in either at the network level, which is what, sort of we consider the lobby, and the parent club community, and doing, what we call a 90-10, which is like you give 90, you do a little live, and you do 90% teaching, and then the last 2 minutes you invite people, you say, I'm doing a starter class, or that, that sort of thing. So just to give you a little tour Oh, you gotta let me share.
Oh, yeah. There
We,
you go.
we, with all of the, the sort of learning curve we've had with Mighty Networks and, the glitches and them changing the whole design and after we'd been there for a couple of months, one of the things we really, really love is actually having the parent club community there. So, the main space is our discussion group. It's got a regular feed where parents post questions. I have a support call tonight, but they're posting their questions there. We're responding. I'm just asking them to introduce themselves there. We have a welcome checklist space, which nobody uses very much, but that's fine. Then we have a listening partnership space. And one of the things that Mighty Networks is in beta testing about, and we're going to join them in this beta testing, is this listening time now, which is like it's a group chat feature. And how it can work is that a member can toggle on the group chat just for this space. And so it'll be like bringing WhatsApp, sometimes parents will create a WhatsApp group for spontaneous listening time or a text group, and it'll be like bringing that right within the parent club. So we're excited about that. And here's where they can post for listening partners. Then we have events, vent and processing section in the Facebook. This is the mom that I mentioned that she, that she has the 2-day, 3-day or something like that transition. And in the Facebook group, the big community group is free group as well as the parent club Facebook group, people used it often to vent when they couldn't get listening time. And there were some members that were like, no, I can't do this. I don't want to, so the really cool thing is that we were able to create a separate space, which you can actually unengage from or unfollow or hide from your feed so that you won't see them. Then we have resources and guides, which actually I'll show it to you this way. What we've created are, oh, Emily, you put all new little thumbnail things.
They've actually always been there, but Mighty Networks just did this upgrade, so they actually show up now.
Oh, okay, cool. So, we have these guides which are curated with so this one's on separation. So we have like a video from Patty, we have a fridge list, we have some articles from the website, and so we have one on parenting tweens and teens. We have a whole collection of Patty wisdom that we've taken clips from Q&As that she's done for the parent club, playful parenting. But now, Emily, we don't get to see we have a great video of Patty doing,
Oh yeah.
Emily doing, I don't know what it is now. Doing mama crabby hands. So, what's great about this, is that, we've curated the information for parents between videos and articles. And then, we're gonna have a setting limits cohort where parents from the parent club community can go through the setting limits course together. And one of our most active members is gonna kind of moderate and sort of say, okay, this week we're doing lesson 1, video 1, and let's discuss. So that starts in May, and yeah, so I think, did I miss anything?
Is that called what you just described, where one of the members, what are those called? What's that going to be?
a setting limits cohort. And one of the members, she was a very active member. You might call her like an ambassador, or I can't think of what Facebook would call that kind of a
Super fan.
You'd have a badge for sure in Facebook.
Yeah, like a badge is a a
Super
premium
fan.
Super fan.
fan, something like that. Yes. And she actually needed a scholarship, and so we said, well, how about if you and it happened because another member in the Facebook group started it on her own, where she started posting the videos from the setting limits and saying, okay, this week we're going to do this and we're going to discuss it, and it got interestingly, it got much more response from parents with a parent leading it than when Emily and I have tried to do it. So yeah.
Yay, parent leaders.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So that's the parent club community. Neat.
And
Question?
even though we ask that you don't kind of take the materials from Parent Club and use them and share them with your own communities, I imagine it would be really helpful to have the Parent Club resources available to you. So you could pop in if someone in your class or community is struggling with, like we have a great little helping teachers help your child section. You could go and kind of download it to your brain and then re-share it out to them just through your own words. But to have that wealth of information right there could be really helpful.
Yeah.
Any questions about the parent joining Parent Club part? Oh, Brooke, did you have a question? Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say that I've been going to the Monday Ask Me Anythings with Kathy, and it is it's gold, Kathy. I just really want to appreciate you. It's so helpful as a new instructor to hear these questions and hear Kathy's answers. And, many times already I've been able to give a parent an answer because Kathy Kathy's like little script in my head.
Did her magic.
It's really amazing. So I thank you for that. And when Kathy asked for like bright spots, I type something in because I don't want to be this anonymous person, but I also try to kind of hold back and not,
No, it's
It's
great.
okay, I'm
You've asked a couple questions, and I didn't realize until afterwards that you're an instructor. So it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I was honored to have you there, and Blake has been there. So instructors are absolutely welcome. It's every Monday in the lobby, in hand home, at 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. BST.
So that's not the Parent Club. That's just
anybody.
So everybody who joins the network, so you should probably understand these.
Kathy, I just want to give you a time check. It is 5 o'clock, so this will be our last thing.
Yes, and then we haven't told them how to actually join. Do they just contact us?
I can put it in the newsletter.
Okay,
that'll be out on Monday.
Okay, great, yes. So everybody who joins the network for any reason, your class, they buy a self-guided class, they download the books, they have to join the network. And in joining the network, they get access to a free mini 5 tools mini course called Hand in Hand Basics. And in the network, or in the lobby, let's call it, we call it Hand in Hand Home, they get this Ask Me Anything every Monday. On the first Wednesday of every month, they get we do a post where they can ask for listening partners. Emily puts in inspiration. We do some polls. Oh, I do a highlight every Tuesday of a piece of that 5 tools mini course. So it's like, it's comparable to like you go to the mall and there's the person standing there with the little slices of orange chicken. So we really needed to get away from all the teaching and moderating that we were doing in the free group. And that kind of community is now in the Parent Club community. That's the only place to get it. But we do, support them and give them nibbles and answer their questions on Monday in the lobby. where they've come in to see the trailers and now we want them to go into the movie. So,
That's a good analogy.
or I like to describe it like it's the lobby of a building, and then you go elevator to the parent club community suite that has all these different, and the instructor hub suite. So
Well, we'd love to hear more from everyone. If you have, I wish I hads, we want to hear about them so we can add them to the hub. If you have suggestions about things that would make it easier for you as an instructor, we want to know about it so we can hopefully make it happen. And please, anytime you're feeling confused or not sure or stuck, I'm just an email away, and chances are I can get you through the stuck place with a link to where you need to go very quickly. So don't suffer in stuckness, reach out, and you have this whole community here that can support you. So I think we'll end there since we are a little late, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone next month. We'll get that link and time and topic up for May out in the May 1st newsletter for everyone. So thanks for making it, everybody. I really appreciate it. Bye all.
Bye.
Everyone, thank you so much.